much fundamentals and important just economic news coming out this week. It's going to have crazy volumes, crazy volatility in the market. My camera's crazy. And normally I have a YouTube link up. So let me do this. And I apologize while I'm doing this live, but I want to be able to see you guys talking. So let me do this. I know y'all can't see this, so but I want to see y'all's chat. There we go. Oops. And then pop out chat. I'm just getting to where I can see you guys in the chat. Turn this over. And boom, there we go. Good morning. Let me put this, make sure it's working. There we go. How are y'all doing? I know I've got to get to some way to start marketing my lives, because I know I normally have not too many at this time, which I have some messages, and I told a few of y'all that I might start doing these lives at 5:30 as well, just to accommodate. I know a lot of y'all are working, and I tried to do 11 a.m. for lunchtime, but that didn't work out for y'all. So we'll figure something out. But always remember, these are recorded. I know you don't have the opportunity to ask me questions, but you can message me. And if you give me the content you want me to go over, then I can do that on the next live. So if you're watching this recorded on the YouTube live, just put a comment in there, because my team will tell me. They'll say, hey, some people have been commenting, they want you to look at this, this, and this, or message my Instagram, Imperial FX Academy, or inside Surge Discord. You can reach me there. So anything you guys ever want me to discuss, just send me the message on that. But let me do this real quick. Share screen. And let's go over some fundamentals. Okay, so you see, now I have filtered out all the high impact and the medium impact. We just had the core CPI, which looks like it done maybe a little bit better for the USD, which is good for the currency. And I think I've seen gold's kind of split a little bit, and we'll go into the charts in a minute. But we have a little bit more news for today, the 30-year bond. And you can see here, if you click this little folder, what it is, what it has, what the effect could be, blah, blah, blah. Tomorrow, GBP, USD, NZD, AUD, you see all this. And Alex in the pit was showing me, we were looking at Aussie dollar, or I think odd CAD, and we'll go into that, because I feel like this news right here could affect that trade. And so remember this, tomorrow 7:30 p.m. we have employment change, unemployment rates, super crucial for that currency. Thursday, December 14th, you see some more GBP, Euro, USD. I mean, this week is slam packed with full of news. That's not necessarily just normal high impact news. This stuff is serious. Let's see. All right, so let's do this. Let me cancel this, and we'll go right in the charts, and we'll look at OddCAD first. That's what me and Alex are looking at. Stop. Share screen. Let's look at this beauty. Gold's moving a little bit wonky, I'd say. Still playing on its level, as you can see. Break, hook, and go. Perfect. I don't know if you guys are trading gold right now, but we broke through this level, come back tested, and now we have our continuation to the downside. Maybe I marked this up on the higher time frame. Potentially this little trend line here. If you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you can see price has been ping-ponging around, let's just say 2036 to 1648, which is a pretty significant difference, but it's how price flows. We see that price tested, and now it's still in that ascension. So we could be moving up, we could be doing a nice little continuation, or a little sideways movement. But I feel we do have a lot of news coming out. Could be a little push to the downside, which isn't monumental, doesn't change. Like, you didn't see the world changed completely when gold spiked to over 20, what was it, 2150 or 2140. Most of the time when you see something like that, you think we're going into World War III, stuff like that. But we do have a lot of news like you see. We did, and I was saying this earlier, we didn't invade China waters, but, you know, some of our ships got in there. It's just, if you pay attention to any of the fundamentals, you can see that something was going on there. You know, I don't pay attention to our military because I just don't. But do you know what's going on with the NT4? I don't know how much I can say on that, but what I can say is if you're trading on personal funds on an unregulated broker, you're getting scammed. I'll just say that. So this is why I trade with Surge Trader, because first of all, regulated. Second of all, no risk to my capital. You're going to see all these scamming brokers fall. You're going to see all these scamming traders fall. You see now that everybody coming out with new courses every other day of the week. So use your own judgment with that, but you see we're in a time where, especially thankful for the social media and how news spreads so quickly, you're going to see all these people just start dropping like dominoes. So why not? Let's say you have $5,000 in your capital, of personal capital, and I'm talking about the fake Instagram traders. Silver. So I have never even charted up silver. Let me go into AuCAD real quick. All right. So right off the rip, fresh markup. Let's do this. I'm not even gonna. So what I do normally, and I know you guys know this, I go to the line chart, higher time frame. I'm just going to do the 4 hour just because this is based off very current price action. I'm going to do this. My peaks and valleys based off current price. And I could probably adjust that to that just because we touched here and then boom, 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 boom. And then we'll do one more just to give us some, hey, excuse me. Do that, and then one more there. And then let's go to the next, let's say there. All right. Higher time frame. Remember on the 4 hour. Normally I do this on the monthly, this, that, and other, but I just want to go over this very quickly just to see how fundamentals affect this. And remember, this is why I don't really do a lot of trend lines, just because trend lines we tend to adjust to our liking. Like, I want it over here. I want it a little bit on this area. And then when price breaks it or goes against it, we adjust it to there, and then we just keep adjusting and keep adjusting. That's why when I do my levels, they stay. Higher time frame, I go monthly, weekly, daily. I don't adjust them. I don't move them. Trend lines, they're like indicators. We try to put it to how we feel best, which isn't correct, because the market doesn't care how we feel. But going from this, even on the line chart, I see my little eclipse. Let's see this. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Boy, still big. And head. Nice little bearish structure coming in. Price always, when you see structures like this, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, once it breaks and retests, that's when the money's at. So price could do one of two things. We always have the heart line, even if you have a double bottom, triple top, double top, you always have that heart line, the neckline, whatever you want to call it. I always try to gauge it to the center of everything, which is about right there. This would be the golden to the downside. 40 pip stop, let's just say 893, 89, point. Let's do this. Switch to the candles, and we are selling AuCAD. Have news tomorrow. Could be a huge push. Let's do this. 40 pip stop, 893, 897. Up, 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 up. 897. We have our stop. We want to go to the next zone, which would be around this area right here. You see, why is it that next zone? Because I see price came up, broke, tested, break, hook, go. Boom. Beautiful strategy. Break, hook, go. That's what I look for. That creates this right here. Bink. And then we have our zone. This is literally that simple. You guys go so much into just, you guys get on YouTube and Instagram and y'all watch these people and they talk about fair market value gap and this, that, and other, and you're cluttering your brain with too much information that does not exist. It doesn't exist. It's just people creating new literature about trading, and everyone just blows this up into this new hype, and it's like, oh yeah, it sounds great. They trade like the banks. That's crazy, because I don't know of any individual that has billions of dollars that speaks with the brokers and says, hey, we're doing this, we're this, and they move the market. So how do you trade like the banks? Please explain that. All right, so we have our zone identified. So let's do this right here. We're looking for 89. We're in the sales from 89,338 to 87,875, which is not a huge reward, but we're on the 15-minute. I can scale up to the 4-hour and look for the huge, nice little thing. We have, where would a continuation be if we stuck to this trend line right here? Broke through. Let's go to the higher time frame. Oh yeah, and then we see the story. Boom, boom. We have that there. We have a test here. A test here. We also have, man, I need it. There's so many lines right there. So price could do one of two things. It could continue to the downside, or just with that fundamental news be a push, and then we could go to the upside. So realistically, that's a waiting game. But for the target now, still a perfect trade. All right, so that's oddcat. Let me look at, I don't actually, UST. Again, yeah, we went over gold. Now you guys tell me if you want me to mark anything up, any pair. I don't know silver though. That's the thing. I don't even know how. What is it? XAU. What's the? XAU. Is it G? Is it that? See this for? No, I don't know what that is. J-Man, what's the symbol for that? What if I just put silver in? XAG. XAG. There we go. B for beeswax. All right, so let's mark it up real quick. We're on the daily. Let's go to our line chart. Let's look for peaks and valleys based off current price action. We got one here. We have one here. Guys, I'm just looking for quick peaks and valleys based off current price action. Not looking for anything crazy. I see just to justify these levels. We have a touch here, break. Touch, touch, break. Touch, break. Touch, 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 touch. Same thing with this. Point, 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 point. That's what, to me, justifies these levels. All right, that's on the daily. 4-hour. We have a nice little consolidation area here showing me that this is a pretty significant zone. Silver's in that area. And let's see, we have this nice little drop. Looks like it's kind of following gold to a T. Again, now, I have never traded gold. But you have this nice little leg, boom, pull back. Nice little leg, boom, pull back.
Yeah, you got to be 100%.
Price could move sideways on this area and respect and do this right here.
Let me know how it goes.
Like this. Price could break, but we'll wait a second and we'll go deeper into in the candlesticks. Switch back to our candles. All right, we see what is this, 1 hour?
You staying on?
So we have a zone here. We could have marked this up a little bit more. But if it's following gold, you guys know I already have my sales for gold going in right now. Price could look like it's testing this little trend line here. So where would the entry be? You have two types of entries. You have the high risk and you have the confirmed. The high risk would be right now where we are at a zone, we're at a trend line, and you're taking the risk. Confirmed entry will be once it breaks and once it tests, you have a lower risk. Basically, a confirmed entry, you know it's going to be a continuation. Higher risk is when this could do either or, literally right now. Silver could bounce up and do a continuation on the bull run, or we could do a continuation on this nice little pullback here. And let's see. I know this ain't. Is it the best? I don't really like drawing trend lines. I don't like doing this because it clutters up the chart, and you see just the lines and chaos everywhere. But if silver is going to follow gold, then I would say, I don't know. Now, again, I don't know how silver counts pips. I'm just going to guesstimate 7, 8, 600. Yeah, I don't know how, wherever 40 pips would be. All right. That's what I see. You guys agree or disagree? Later, brother. Y'all tell me. What were y'all looking for? Let me show y'all a trade that we went over real quick that you guys probably forgot about. And look at this. Isn't this crazy? Went over this live. To a T, this is GJ. 147 to 143. Count the pips. Let's do another one. Here's the CAD. CAD looks like it's still moving sideways. We had this huge push to the downside, if anybody caught that with me. And now just kind of playing out. Remember, I know you guys can't see this, but we have a lot of USD fundamentals coming in that could affect everything. So don't lose hope on this trade if you're still in this. What else y'all want me to go over? Let's do, what was it? USD, I think we went over one day. Yep. Looks like price is hitting the support. Not sure what to do. Again, gold is always my indicator. So I look and try to follow what gold is doing to all and every correlating pair. But at the same time, Euro's a little weird. I think we all can agree with that. Goes, oh yeah, hey, I remember we done oil as well. US oil. And look at there. I think we went over this. Yeah, I'm playing the game, Carlos. Carlos, I won't forget about that. Let's just look at crude oil real quick. We went over this, I believe, last week. You guys see price fell through. Now now it's just a levels game. We'll go to the 4 hour. We have these huge bearish candles right here showing us the continuation to this nice little swing here. Pull back. Price could still flow sideways here, and then boom, around 61 a barrel. But you see, like, we have this huge wave, and then looking back, what is this level right here? So let's go to the higher time frame, and look how many times this area was tested, around $58 a barrel. So tested, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, that's at least 40 times that area was tested. So whatever that price point is, pretty clear indication it has some type of just strength for whatever reason. Yeah. So I see the continuation. Let's just do this. Even if it touches this zone and then retraces down from this area, still see it coming through that. At least, what is that? I have no idea how to count the pips on U.S. oil because I know it's something crazy like the indices. But let's switch back to gold real quick, Carlos. On the daily, the huge wick.
Yes, hi.
Shows a big wick down candle, but does it tell you such a big rejection line? So in order to break the trend, Carlos, you see we have this huge bullish momentum, and then price, I'm guessing you're talking about that wick right there, where price pushed up. This was huge fundamental. This was a scare. This was talks of war. This was a craziness. And 9 times out of 10, when you see these types of wicks, that's what causes that. Something happened within the countries. Something happened to where it caused not necessarily panic, but it caused the big time investors to say, hey, I feel like something's, going on. We're talking about war. We're talking about China's doing this. Russia's talking about blah, 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 doing away with US dollar. Something like that drives these type of just economic scares to where obviously gold is the #1 safe haven. So big time investors, big time traders, they all dump into gold. They're trying to ride the wave. And that's what happened. That fundamentals pushed, and then boom, took their profits. And now we go back into continuation of the wave, which could be, again, like this area right here. That's long term. I don't know. I have no clue. It could come here and stop, but I see prices pretty significantly. You see where price broke it and then tested it, and then we're just looking for a continuation. That's it. What was that wick from Hawkhead? That wick from 2155. Yeah, that's freaking huge. And realistically, but look, like it tested all of these highs, broke all these highs. This high all the way back in 2020, coming back over, and then see when you're focusing just on that, it looks pretty significant. But when you zoom out a little bit, it's almost like the market tells us a lot. Like you see these candles right here, 1, 2, 1, and then we have this continuation here. But I would look for another one, like you have they call it the 3 horsemen or something like that. But basically just shows us a continuation. Same thing for when you're looking for the trend change on the bulls. You have your dojis. Doji, then the bull. Dojis, then the bull. Those are the swing. Those are the shifts of momentum for highs and for lows. Let's go to AUD-CAD. AUD-CAD. So on my trades, this is any trade, literally any trade. 40 pip stops. I got target 870, 87875. Yep. And I stop loss at 0.89. So where would your entry be if you're doing a 40 pip stop? Let me lock this real quick. 893, so 40 pips, 89700. And the reason I do 40 pip stops is because it gives price that ability to flow. So we have all this room for price to flow, and that doesn't mean just because you're in drawdown that the trade's wrong or it's going against you. That's how price flows. You can't always get these type of entries where you get into a trade and it's boom. Yeah, I always do 40 pips, regardless of the trade, regardless of the entry. I do 40 pips. So don't necessarily focus so much on getting those laser entries. Yes, obviously they're good, but these type of entries that I look for, they are at massive swing levels. So when we're at this area where we are, let's just say in the middle of swings, because we have this low, this high, this low, and then where price is. So it's not really, you're not potentially looking for the just banger entries like these right here. When you'll be looking for a sell on this trend line, 40 pip stop, banger. Looking for buys, 40 pip stop, bangers. We're in the middle of that. We're in the middle of the wave, so you don't really know which way price is going. You're just looking for a continuation. So I'm going to type this in the chat too, because I think I'm lagging a little bit. When you do swings, and at least for a 40 pip, for a 12, you at least want to triple that. That way it makes sense. For me, y'all know I do like 400 to 500 pips, but depending on what lot size I'm using and this all changes. Like this, literally not my plan, but the goal. Like if I've got this huge trip planned, if I got this going on, if I have whatever, if I'm looking for a new car or something like that, and I've got a goal oriented, for what I'm looking for, then those profits will change. But 9 times out of 10, when I'm looking for my trades, I like to go 200 to 300 pips. For me, realistically, 3 to 5 grand a day. That's pretty banger trade, And then holding it, say I use a 2 lot and I'm up 7,600 for a 3-day hold on a trade, I'll cut half my profits, cash out 3,500, let the rest ride, and then break my entries down to scale in. So if I'm a 1 lot here and then 0.5 lot on this new entry that we have, and then another 0.5 lot. That way, if these trades go against me, I'm still in profit. I've still closed out profits. Is not 0.01 price and gold 1 pip, so 40 pips. Let me see. No, so if gold is at 1982, a 40 pip stop will be 1986 if you're in a sell, because you get based off the first digit. So 1984 to 1985 is 10 pips. 86 to 88 is 20 pips. Now, each broker, including Surge, might count it differently. So, but realistically, that's how the price counts as for stop loss. So if you're a 0.1 lot, which would be $1 per pip, and you go from 1982 to 1986 with a 40 pip stop, and that's $1, you're going to lose $40 plus the commission, and the trading fees and stuff like that. But guys, I've been on here 30 minutes. I don't like holding all y'all's time. Anything you want, put in the chat now, or I'm going to end this. I'm going to give y'all about a minute while let's go over AutoCAD real quick. I do not like taking a lot of y'all's time, and I appreciate all of you who did come in, who did join the live, who are watching the recap later on. I appreciate and love all of y'all. DXY. right off the rip, I could see we're kind of ping-ponging between these levels right here. So if we're looking for sells on gold, then we would be looking for the DXY to be gaining strength. Now we have a lot of fundamentals again, so you can't really, when you have that much push of fundamentals, it's really hard to gauge. So this is where you just got to pay attention. Again, I always use forexfactor.com. It's super simple and clear, but just pay attention to your trades. Like if news is coming out at 8:30 and you're already in a trade, it's best to be, if you want to monitor and if it's going to go for a loss or your profits, just check it. It takes literally 2 seconds. Say, okay, you know what? 8:30, I'm going to set a reminder. News is coming out. Let's see how it affects my trade. Or I'm in profit. I don't even want to chance it, especially if you're like on a prop firm or if you've got whatever. You don't want to risk the capital. Close your trade. Because fundamentals, you guys know, can have a 100 to 200 pip drive and it be even a low impact folder on there. I've seen that many times. So we have our zone here. We have the zone here. Price already tested. Looks like we could have a continuation to the downside. But again, I'll say this 100 times because I really want you guys to start paying attention to fundamentals. All of this could change drastically. Like you've seen gold spiked. But everything's looking beautiful, as you can see. Let's go over this one more time and make sure I'm switching everything back for y'all. Oh yeah, beautiful. Small time frame, flawless. I don't know what else to say about that. Anyways, guys, appreciate y'all's time. I will see y'all Thursday. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Draw back on the lot sizes. Let me just, before I end this, let me just switch. So, because I know Carlos and B came in late. Share screen. This is what I mean. You see all these red folders. They're high impact. USD, 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 USD. Almost all of this is USD. And if not, it's correlating. So everything's going to affect the DXY. It's going to affect gold. It's going to affect UJ. It's going to affect GJ, AudCAD, all of these pairs. You got to remember, just because it says USD or just because it says JPY, these are huge. USD is the trumping currency of the entire world. So when news comes out, it affects everything. If it can affect the number one asset or the number one safe haven, gold, then it'll affect anything. So definitely pay attention to these. And that's tomorrow at, let's see, we have FOMC, we have federal funds rate, just craziness. Then the Aussie dollar, remember we were looking at AudCAD, the employment change, unemployment rate, greatly affect that. And that is it, guys. I am getting off. It is 11:34 again. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Hope y'all have a wonderful week. I will see y'all again Thursday. We'll go back over everything. Might have a special guest, and we will see y'all then.